Good morning, Seattle. You guys tired of this yet? We're day 40, at least by my accounting. I'm not sure if I'm right or not, but pretty sure we're on day 40 of this ridiculous lockdown thing, and I am just sick of it. And part of me thinks that we're like preparing, that the Earth is going to end. There's an asteroid headed our way, and that what they're really doing is getting us ready for abandoning Earth and taking that long trip to Mars. I looked it up. It's like 150 days if it's the right orbits and you got the right rocket, maybe a little bit longer. We're day 40, so we're a quarter of the way there. This is what it's going to be like. Have you noticed that they're basically shutting down the arts? You noticed that, right? Like movie theaters, legitimate theater, art museums, everything shut down. They're shutting down the arts. Book launches and all this kind of stuff. I was supposed to be doing all this stuff this spring. I have a graphic novel coming out. Here you go. Look, everybody, The Cloven, coming out in July. I was supposed to be going down to San Diego, doing the Emerald City Comic Con, the whole deal. Everything's shut down. Everything's closed. So look, coping mechanisms. I'm here to give you some advice of what I'm doing to deal with things. I do listen to a lot of audiobooks, and this is something that I picked up when I was doing a whole lot of traveling for The Art of Racing in the Rain. I would be on airplanes all the time, and I've learned this thing about myself. When I open a book and start to read it on an airplane, I fall asleep. It's kind of cool if you want to fall asleep, but if you want to read the book, it's difficult. So what I started doing is listening to audiobooks, and then I thought, well, I have to do something with my hands. And so I developed this technique of doing these jigsaw puzzles like this on my iPad. See that? And while I'm listening to my audiobook, I can do my jigsaw puzzle. Now, they happen in two different parts of your brain. So you can listen to an audiobook and do a jigsaw puzzle at the same time, because the part of your brain that registers shapes and colors is a different part of your brain than hears words and understands plot and character and all that kind of stuff. Two totally different parts of your brain. So you can do them both at the same time without interfering with either experience. I do not know if that's actually true. I made that up, but I made it up to justify it to myself, and I made it up because I write fiction and I'm allowed to make things up. So if I can convince myself of the truth of it, I am starting a new thing. I'm going to try this. I'm going to see. This may take too much brain power. This may get me out of the shapes and colors thing. I got this wooden puzzle deal where you have to build it, and it seems rather complicated with all these sheets of wood and stuff like that, to build a thing. I'm going to see if I can do this while listening to an audiobook. I'm not sure it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a try. It's a great way to pass the time and also, engage your brain in something that's somewhat creative. Reading a book does take power on the part of the audience. Has to participate. It's not just television. You can kind of get into a vegetative state. So I recommend that. I recommend meditating. I've been doing a lot of meditating. Of course, listening to music is always good. And my big thing is cooking. I do love cooking, but I'm getting a little bit sick of it. So I think this is teaching us to appreciate our freedom. You know what I mean? I work at home by default. I'm a writer, so I'm sort of used to being isolated, not showering every day, not really seeing people very frequently. This sort of world, I can handle this. It's not that big of a change for me. But there's also that when you're a writer, there's always the door. You can always leave, and now we don't have a door. So conceptually, that's a little difficult. So what we should do is just reconcile the fact that sometimes we just need to take the door. Just go outside, walk around your house 20 times. If you don't want to wear a face mask, I give you permission. You do not have to wear a face mask to walk circles around your house. Okay? All right. So be safe, be kind, get lots of sleep, drink lots of water, and whatever you do, remember, we're still only a quarter of the way to Mars. All right, have fun.